Big shout out to Bean Working Espresso down in Skyring Terrace, Newstead.
Best coffee in the game.
Best absolute coffee in the game. Hooking the Platform podcast, and any listeners up with a 10% discount.
Shout out.
Shout out to Yolanda.
Yolanda.
That was a mouthful.
Their coffee's real fucking good. Get
Best coffee in the game, by far. Just opened up Skyring Terrace. You can order ahead and mention the Platform podcast for a 10% discount. This is the Platform podcast with B Bad and Brandon. Welcome to the Platform podcast. We are your hosts, Johnny B Bad, and we get used to the clap. So you're going to introduce me because I introduced you.
When?
Just then. I said I'm Johnny B Bad.
Oh, did you? Oh, fuck.
Great intro.
Yeah.
Sick
we killed it.
podcast.
I know. We are joined by, I think this is also our first all-time Australian record holder. Damn. This is like, we're with royalty.
Just clinging onto it at the moment. just.
Are you though? Who's...
I would put a large amount of money that next time Anthony Crozier competes, he'll smash my record.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Fuck, okay.
Anthony's a legend now. He has a super duper nice guy, great beard.
Oh, that's,
I mean,
you said it all just then. Great beat.
he's a true 125. I don't feel like I've ever been a true 125 anyway. Every time I've competed at 125, I've never been.
You've never been over 120.
No, like my best total at 125 was at 117 or 116.
That was over in the States last year, right?
Yeah. So I mean, I never really filled it out. So somebody like him, who's an absolute beast monster, deserves it. So yeah, next time he goes, he's going 1,000 plus, 100%, guaranteed.
That's a big total at 125.
He's a fucking legend.
Fuck. I'm gonna also say, can you imagine Will as a true 125?
Oh, so
Just all that muscle.
I've tried. I really tried. Everyone's like, "What are you doing? Is eat more food?" I'm like, "Fuck, I'm really
food
trying."
goes
I
in.
really can't eat much more food.
Trust me, I'm trying to eat that food, man. Fuck, I'm
How
not
much
sitting-
food does it take?
To push me up to where I was, because the heaviest I've been was in this last, what should have been Pro Raw prep. I got to like 122, 123.
Oh, shit.
And I was approx 6,000 calories a day, but I need to be really consistent. Like I went from 122, 123 a week out from Pro Raw, stressed out of my brain because obviously everything's cancelling and coronavirus, whatnot.
Forgot about that.
Clients stressing out, I'm stressing out and then I wasn't eating because of that stress and hardly training because it was meant to be like a peak week anyway, so I'd planned it to be like that, but I just didn't train at all because the comp got cancelled, and then so just a mess of a week, and I dropped down to back to 116, 17 that weekend, which was meant to, because I went and did kind of a half-assed testing at PTC HQ just cause.
Yeah.
And yeah, my weight was down like I said, like 6-7 kilos, and just pathetic.
In a week.
But it gave me some hope because I hit some half decent numbers in the gym there, which should, given that body weight was still there and the stress wasn't there, and it was an actual deload week rather than the most stressful week of my life.
Fucking oath.
I hope that those numbers would have been a bit better on the platform. So gives me a bit of hope for next time. But here we are, whatever it is, 3-4 months in the future, and on cruise control. So and who knows when next comp is, but yeah, Anthony's definitely the man to watch 125, and then 110s. I don't hold that record technically, like 2.5 kilos by Mitch.
Yeah, that's right.
So he did that comp down in Tassie a couple months after the
Pro
Raw.
Yeah.
Obviously not last one before that, and then beat that by 2.5.
Because you said it at Pro Raw 11.
Yeah.
But that's with the 387 dead.
Yeah. And then
That was a sick deadlift.
That was sick.
and then
But
Bass is bulked up. He said he's like 115 now. Mitch,
oh yeah, that's right. Because
I don't
everyone
know
was
what the
doing
hell-
Warriors as well.
Yeah, and then Mitch is who knows what Mitch is doing. I haven't been watching his training too well, so I really don't know like how everyone in the 110s is standing. I just know Anthony's crushing it. Whereas
Where's Anthony based?
Melbourne, he owns Apex down there in Melbourne. So he's just been slamming it throughout coronavirus and doing a lot better than me at maintaining his motivation and whatnot. But yeah, the 110s, Yeah, I don't even know what's happening in 110s. I might have to go back and sneak back that record once Anthony beats 125.
Oh, he's called him out.
I love it.
Sneak back in there, just
You better put the brakes on then trying to get to 125.
Yeah, I'm floating around 115 now, so I can kind of go either way pretty easy.
Yeah. Oh, because then you got Warriors to worry about as well.
Maybe it depends if I could be fucked, honestly. But at the moment, there's no motivation at all to prep. So I'm just focusing on things that will progress my powerlifting strength long term that aren't necessarily progressing my 1RMs right now.
Yeah.
Like getting healthy, get my resting heart rate down, like my fitness up, all those measures really nice, my movement as good as it can be, just all the little things that sometimes take a side
when you're in deep of powerlifting prep.
Yeah. So just getting all that under control, it'll set me up for a good prep when I feel like it.
Awesome.
Is it nice to train without any pressure?
Yeah. Well, that's
because you train out of your garage too at the moment, isn't it?
I have been now because we've got most of it. We've got
by most of it he means a whole gym.
Yeah, we've been lucky. We've got a heap of stuff.
Just a comp bench, some plates.
Yeah, it's coming together real nice. It still doesn't have mats, so
I know, we got a mat guy. We'll help you out.
Still dungeony but it's mats. Needs a couple little things, but yeah, most of my time spent at Zero Weakness there, and obviously we've got a sick crew there.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a bit hard to, even with the best equipment, it's hard to be on your own and do heavy. So to go in there and then have all them guys who are strong as fuck around you just to boost you up, especially closer to prep, I'll 100% be back in there most of the time.
Because I think we were talking about it. Oh, we didn't ask the question.
Yeah, we haven't done the first question.
We skipped the questions.
We did because it was a good conversation. Yeah. We're really getting good at this podcasting, as you can tell.
The segues are amazing. Like that was right then. That was smooth as fuck. Sorry. Where were we?
We had a podcast with Alex Deacon last week, and I don't know how it was. We just had segues left, right, and center.
Yeah, we nailed it.
It was amazing. Yeah. Maybe it was because it was mainly him, but we nailed it because it's our podcast. So. Yeah. But before we continue down that path,
Mr. Will, 21 words, who you are and what you do.
Why is it 21?
That just is. It's the words.
He's the first person to ask us why.
First person ever, yeah. Why is there a pause on the bench? This just is. And Brando will count the words. And the sounds.
What was the question? I forgot. I was so focused on the 21 words.
It's a lot of pressure. Who you are and what you do.
Fuck, you just answered that for me.
No,
that's what we're just talking about.
Nah. What are you talking about? You didn't mention it at all. Oh, wait, you did.
Own that company, Nexus thing.
Yeah, Nexus.
Yeah, that thing. No big deal.
Look, you can't
do... Crozier. I am a co-director at... You're way behind. At Nexus Performance, Gold Coast. We're based on the Gold Coast. I coach powerlifters for the most part around Australia, online only, really. And I also do some lifting myself.
Look, that's pretty good. I'm going to say we're going to call that 21 words exactly.
Right on, nailed it.
Nailed it. You killed it.
Yeah.
If you want to listen to a funny one, just as we always do, shout out Luke Poley.
Luke Poley.
His was the worst. I've never seen someone with actual stage fright.
Yeah.
That size. It was hilarious.
He's a man of many words, ain't he? Big Luke.
In that episode, because he's so big, there's this thumping in the background.
He got really excited.
But see,
really excited.
It wasn't even it's just because he's so heavy at the time, and every time he'd try to emphasize a point, he would just hit the desk, and it would be as light as that, but it would just echo through the
Now
thing.
that I think he's a very
that's with our exceptional audio equipment as well.
Yeah, exactly. So he's just there's just this thump in the background. I'm like, what the fuck is that noise? What am I doing? And then I realized it was just his fat hand hitting the desk. But segue back, because we're good at segues.
Yeah.
No, we were just speaking about this because obviously you were talking about before we entered the 21 words, the going back to Zero Weakness and the community down there is being sick. We had a conversation before, I think it was Pro Rules this year, just about how Southeast Queensland seems to have these really awesome hubs of communities.
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah,
it's just crazy. It's just something that I don't know what it's like in, most gyms, but I've been to enough gyms around Australia now to realise, like, I feel like we're very privileged here to have that sort of community.
Yeah. Zero is a great community / culture. It's like people are strong and encouraging and no matter where everybody's at. And that's kind of how it needs to be. And I'm not walking in there going like, everybody watch out, this is my bar because I'm strong at you guys. Like no one's like that. No one like that. Everybody's like loading and deloading people's bars and helping out and friendly and shaking your hand when you come in the door and whatnot. So I mean, like that's what it's all about. Like that's why I won't just say like I'm just going to train at home, even though I have the equipment to do that. 100% I do, but it's just not. I couldn't keep it up. You can't like hit like a really hard set of 5 without a little bit of a G up and obviously safety spotters and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
How long have you trained with the Zero crew? How long have you been down there?
When I first started powerlifting, it was 2015, and I was in Cairns. And then I think within a year we were in the Gold Coast because I wanted to like start my own gym. And then after doing like math and talking to a few different owners like Thomas and Cheryl and a couple others, I was just like, nah, the math just isn't like, I don't know if I really want to do this, and I didn't want to like commit. And then I remember I was at a comp. It might have been the following states the next year. I don't know. The 2016 states. I don't know. But I was at a comp in the old Valhalla there with Thomas, and then I was like telling him, I'm like, I'm in an hour and about it. And then he's like, why don't you just like move to the Gold Coast and just like train at my gym? And I'm like, And then like within a month, I was like, yeah, like I'm coming 100%.
Sick. So you packed up your bags from Cairns and came down?
Pretty much, yeah. Me and Mickey she had a Jeep at the time, like a pretty big Jeep. And we just sold everything that couldn't fit in that and just drove down.
That's unreal.
And moved into a crappy little share house with a bunch of idiots because that's all we could afford. And then we eventually moved into a place that was better, and now we've moved into our own house that we own. So,
that's awesome.
So whatever, 5 years on. So ever since then we've been training there. And
it's sick.
And it's the gym's evolved a lot, but it's ever since day one of being in there, it's always had a great community culture feel to it for sure. Thomas is great at that. He creates that.
Well, that was my next question based off that. I was like, because how do you believe that comes about? Because even within Nexus, like you have clients all over Australia, but at a comp, you all have that same sort of that culture, that community. Everyone comes in, shakes their hand, they know each other.
Yeah, online it's obviously a lot harder to create that, but just having things like our little group calls and just having us all in one group where we can all interact to some degree, follow each other, things like that.
It's awesome.
It's harder in person.
In person it's fucking easy.
Yeah,
you can always just talk shit all day. Like I don't need to go out.
But it's also kind of lead by example. Like when I go to a comp, I go out of my way to try and say hello to all everybody who's in my weight class at Pro Raw that maybe isn't like a familiar face. Like I know the Bass and the Pumbas and the guys who have been competing against me for years, but the guys who have just made it to that level and are really like maybe a bit nervous and stuff, try to go out of my way to say hello and speak to them. And
you're such a good dude.
Well, just
I know, but that's. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine?
Because it creates.
It does. It 100% does. But like, can you imagine that person? How good that person would feel? Like, you're a bit of a star to a lot of people. Like, especially within the powerlifting world.
Superstar.
Superstar. Can you just imagine like being this, it's your first pro roll competition, and then just like this guy who's super jacked comes over and is like, "Hey man, like good luck today." Like introduce himself. Like fuck.
Well, just
that'd be awesome.
I feel like when I first started, I got that treatment by who I looked up to, which at the time was Ricky and
the King
and
Nathan Jones.
Nathan. I was thinking of the Fire Socks. I'm like, Fire Socks guy. What the fucking Nathan. And they're both. Obviously Ricky isn't at that level right now.
I know.
But
come on, back to running again.
Come on, Ricky, come back.
But we've got to get the health. But Nathan's still there, and we still like just talk shit and make jokes to each other, and like it's that's what I like, and that's the treatment I got from them. So I feel like just
Sort of pass it on a bit.
yeah, because it makes me relax.
Yeah.
Because like I'm still nervous as fuck on comp day. Like I'm still worried about like what's gonna happen and blah blah blah. But talking shit to Nathan, about just taking the piss out of what he's wearing, or telling him that he's gonna fucking fuck up or whatever, and he's telling me that I'm gonna fuck up, and just that sort of stuff is just brings a little bit of like funny to the day.
Yeah.
Whereas I can't be the full serious headphones like fucking in my own world, like screamy thing. Yeah, I just can't. It makes me more anxious because I feel like I put more pressure on myself that way. So.
Yep.
Absolutely. So I like to be a lot more relaxed and just try and train like that too.
Yeah, you are a very relaxed person on comp day.
Yeah.
Like it's almost.
But I feel like it's a big bonus. It's a good skill to have because it keeps your recovery. Like
you're not just fucking coming up and cracking
down
tensed. Every fucking rep.
Yeah. The way I explain to people is like, if you're watching like a boxing match or an MMA match, like you don't see the guy in between rounds just bouncing around like on his feet, like staying up. Like he sits down, hunches down, tries to relax, get some big breaths in, chill out, try and like just chill. And then that's your recovery. Like I feel like that's what we should be aiming for. We should be aiming to bring the level down to try and detense or whatever you want to call it. To
just
if we
settle
can do
a
that
little
between
bit,
lifts or and between attempts and between lifts, like I feel like it's a much better recovery strategy over a long day such as pro roll, because pro roll is like 8 fucking hours. It's fucking stupid. So to do that, if you're up at 100%, just bouncing around crazy the whole time on, after 4 scoops of pre-workout or whatever, like you just
4.
I feel like by deadlifts, like you're fucked. Like you're.
So I feel like this is a good little.
Just 4.
Yeah, Johnny. Last time I saw.
Just 4 in the warm up, or. And then you get the next 4, right?
Before the next lift.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No,
and see, Johnny grew up. Fuck, you're old as fuck. Johnny came through the powerlifting stage where the idea of more is better.
Yeah.
So like, his last comp, I want to paint this picture for you. Wakes up, coffee. Yeah. Obviously, normal coffee.
Did 2 comps in 2 days.
He did do that. That was hilarious. But you know how like pre-workout goes a bit clumpy?
So clump.
Yeah, I watched him have 10 clumps, not scoops.
Yeah.
10 clumps of pre-workout.
Must taste great.
It was not delightful. But I have a theory. The worse it tastes, the better it is.
That's...
It tasted like a barbell.
I feel like I need to put a disclaimer in the podcast.
Tasted like a dirty barbell, actually. Like if you would lick it.
Yeah,
that was good pre-trainer. Maybe like the bathtub.
You reminded me of back in the days and back when pre-workouts were actually good.
Yeah, well,
the old jacked.
Jacked and
may
crazy and all them. They
buy
taste
our
like
pre-workout from
absolute
Australia.
shit. Back then it was probably true because they were just chemicals. Like they didn't. It's like they hadn't worked out how to sweeten them, how to flavour them yet. Whereas now they all taste like decent.
Because did you get yours from New Zealand?
I got it from not here in Australia.
He got on the black market from this dodgy guy, and he got it from his mate. And that guy made it.
It maybe tastes like the bathtub it came out of.
Yeah, that's the good stuff.
That's the good shit.
And mate, just add a bit of sweetener. You're set.
Oh, can't do it. I can't even do pre-workout.
Mix it with a Red Bull, mate. Just it's all good to go. That flavours it up.
Will's insides right now are like, you're everything I don't teach.
Well, the problem with that approach, I feel like, is just like I'd be shitting myself before I even started.
That's
Yeah, and that's just not how I want to feel come 1 RMs. I don't want to be like worrying, like, it's hard enough worrying, am I going to get this squat because it's fucking heavy, but am I going to shit myself at the bottom of this squat? Is another layer that I don't want to add.
It's actually funny because we had Ed Cohen on recently, and you know that Ed Cohen shit in his equipped suit squat story?
I don't, but I can believe it. I can
so he pretty much squatted
like
his
410 or something.
Yeah, something stupid, and he had like it was a set of 5, I think.
Yeah, and he shit himself on the first rep.
And then he just finished the set, washed himself like in the
Talks
suit.
about
like,
how it climbs up the back of his suit.
Yeah, like and it was just weird.
Yeah, that's what it takes to be the best, right there.
Yeah. You got to be ready to go there.
Do you though?
Yeah, there you go. That's why. Now I see your logic.
Yeah, exactly. And like
You're
he
prepping
said, and he
yourself.
summed it up well, are you prepared to shit yourself to squat 410 for 5? And
He did.
Yeah.
It's like, where do I go from here?
But I just feel there's ways to avoid that. It's like, I'm not prepared, but I feel like I don't need to as well.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe
Rabbit
that.
holes.
I know, rabbit holes of... I feel like that's our first rabbit hole talking about shit on the podcast. Surprising. But, you know, we got there in the end.
Yeah.
Speaking of best lifts, 385 squat, 220 bench, and a 387.5 pull, if I'm correct. For
Not in the one comp, but yeah.
Yeah, I think was the deadlift done at Pro Raw 11, and then the other two were done at
Record breakers.
Record
And
Breakers in the
380
States.
up to the, yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It was different. It was, different preps, much different competition, much different place. Yeah.
Yeah, how was it? Because you were traveling around the fucking...
Yeah, we did pretty much, I think it was 6 weeks of just all around America beforehand, which obviously threw some spanners in the work as far as the prep goes, because you can't eat consistently, you can't sleep consistently. Like me and Jamie are literally like in New York, we're on bunk beds, legit. like
You're pretty
Jamie's your
big. You fit in a
coach
bunk
for
bed.
everyone who doesn't know Jamie Smith from Melbourne Strength Culture.
yeah.
Who got top bunk?
Oh, I got the good bed. Well, he'll argue that every location, like I'll get the good bed, and then he would come up with a reason why his bed was better. But anyway, yeah, he was on top.
Oh, 100%. Can you imagine Will at 120 falling through that thing?
Yeah, yeah. Plus, I was the one competing. I'm pretty sure the whole trip he did just bicep curls. So. Like we'd go to the gym and we would just be in curls. But yeah, there's a lot of spenders that go down there. Obviously, like the food, the accommodation, our steps were like 20,000 each day. It was fucking hectic, like walking around New York and whatnot. Equipment was extremely hit and miss depending on location.
It's quite surprising, isn't it?
It was extremely surprising, but we in Australia have way better gyms or way more privileged in the powerlifting realm than what America is, 100%. Like, I was actually amazed. In places that are huge, like New York City, it was really hard to find like places that suited. Where I was expecting like, oh, there's gonna be like fucking 10, and then we'll just go to the closest one type thing.
Yep.
No, we had to like look quite hard and find them places that were.
Because they don't have like... I remember seeing videos of you training over there and they look like ratty old plates.
Yeah.
And you're like, there's no comp plates, no comp benches, not comp benches, but no comp bars and the specialty bar type things.
Well, yeah, there were comp bars because we seeked them out, but sometimes it was a Texas squat bar, sometimes it was another brand squat bar. Some places had calibrated plates, some had just, theirs been like pounds, so we're like having to fucking calculate it. Some were like just kilograms up until 200, and then it was pounds. So it was just like a nightmare. And then different bars for benches were all. It was hard. Like we eventually found like a fairly decent place in each location.
Yep.
But again, just random kind of.
You would think there'd be like, again, you said it perfectly. You know, we take it a little bit for granted, I think. And
it's crazy.
Having a comp set.
Here in Brisbane, like you can name at least 5, if not more, places where you could go and find a calibrated plate set up with competition barbells
and monoliths and everything.
Yeah, and chalk, rat rollers, all that stuff. Jamie was my rat roller over there. There wasn't a place that had a rat roller.
Fuck.
So like it's just like stuff like that we take for granted. Like you don't understand, in Australia we have it really, really lucky like that, especially in the places Brisbane, Melbourne, whatnot.
Going into that comp, did you think with all the
I had no idea. I was like, fuck, what the fuck? I don't know if I'll do really well, if I'll just do bad, that's why I wasn't really. But it worked out because I guess like the lack of pressure and the lack of stress and the stuff just made for a good peak. Because I did have really good training blocks leading up to that 6 weeks. So up until 6 weeks out, I knew I was like in line for PBs if my peak could maintain that level.
Yeah.
I knew I wasn't going to like put more kilos on my total within that 6 weeks with all those little things, but I knew if I could maintain it, then I would be hitting some PBs. So that was my goal, and somehow it came off. We hit it, even though it was slightly different equipment than what I was used to. Like it was a Texas squat bar. The bench was a different bench. I forget which brand, but it was something we don't have here. And then the deadlift was a rogue deadlift bar rather than the Texas that I'm used to at Pro Raw and stuff, and zero and stuff. So like not much different. Stuff that people probably think is negligible, but
makes a difference.
It's different, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you squatted, was it a 30 kilo PR?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a 30 kilo PR on like I'd made 30 kilos of progress. I don't think. I think like to clarify that, like I hadn't had just a good squat in competition for a while eating that. There was a couple of competitions where I just had bad squatting for whatever reason. Like maybe I had a good prep, but then for some reason it just didn't come together on the day. So even though 30 kilo PB sounds like incredible, it wasn't that I made 30 kilos of progress during that prep, I don't think. It was just like it was long coming. It was overdue.
Because the comp before that, now it's a good segue, Will. Back to Pro Raw 11 where you had that bad squat.
Yeah.
It was 355 or 350?
350. Yeah, we went 340 open and missed it. Then it was easy enough. It's just depth, and I'm like, 10 kilos isn't going to make me hit depth or not. So went 350 again, missed it, and then got 350 on the third.
What was going through your head at that stage? Because that's like I've always wanted to. Like, I've heard a couple of podcasts of you on talking about it, but then I don't know why I haven't. It just hasn't.
It's just
what's going through your head at that point? You've missed 2 lifts, and like, and
that's
classic Pro Raw, Marcos builds you up.
Yeah, exactly.
All that type of stuff. There's hype around it. There's all that pressure.
Yeah.
Are you feeling it at this point?
Oh yeah, but I put enough pressure on myself and Marcos as well, leading up to it. But
you don't need to put pressure on yourself. He's got you covered.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's going to win. Going to do this. Fuck, man, calm down. But
and then you do, so it's your fault.
Last deadlift, bam.
But yeah, it was. Well, I'd never failed an opener at all.
Fuck.
Ever, let alone an opener and a second, let alone on 2 lifts.
Oh yeah, the bench.
Yeah,
I forgot about.
So yeah, it wasn't fucking easy, that's for sure. So yeah, I mean, I can only really put it down to just training, like as in like training consistently in the same way. So I didn't really have to put a lot of thought into it. Just do what I always do.
Execute on what you tracked as.
Just fucking just do it. Like, and then because it's not like the weight was no worries. That was the most.
They were flying.
That was the most annoying part. I was like, "Fuck, this is fucking easy. What the hell, man? Come on, guys." And then the other, got to give credit to like Thomas and Mickey for helping and trying to keep me under control. Because as soon as I get, like you said before, I'm really like to be really relaxed. So as soon as I get really nervous, it just compounds the issue. Yeah, and then I just had to somewhat pull it together, I guess, and just do what I knew I could do.
And you did, and it was awesome.
Kinda, yeah. Made for a good movie.
Made for an unreal comp, didn't it?
Yeah. Made for a good movie.
Good drama series, but terrible, really. Same on the bench.
Surely, like, not to put you back in that headspace, but I could only imagine. Like, I remember being at the back and watching red light, and everyone's coming up to you going, "Oh, you got to do this, you got to do that." Like, surely you got, at some point, like, I'm surprised you didn't lose it because I was losing it for you, just being like, "Give the bloke some space." I think he's he's a world class lifter. I'm pretty sure he's got this.
And Thomas, I'm really lucky to have Thomas on my side because I've had Thomas there since like almost first comp as a handler.
Yeah.
And even when I went to America, he flew over just to handle me. Like stayed there for
what a legend.
2 days.
He flew for like 2 days, didn't he?
Yeah, just handled me and then flew back. Like couldn't ask for better. But yeah, he knows how I am. He knows how I lift. He knows like not to just like yell at me or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I don't respond to that. So he knows me and knows how to keep that in control. And so does Mickey. So to have those people there to do that, I think is the big help.
Did you at any point during that comp?
Thomas was just saying the same thing you were. It was just like, hey, just listen to me, do what you do.
Yeah. That's the thing. You
don't
need
to
that
fucking
person.
like change your foot position or try to squat with your knees in.
Do you remember any of the dumbest things anyone suggested for you that might have helped you get depth?
No, it wasn't. They weren't dumb things. They were legit suggestions. But you should never make changes between attempts. Really. Yeah. Like,
unless you I've just had a brain fart and fucked up your own normal setup. Don't change anything, guys.
Yeah.
Rule 101.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the bench was a little different because like I felt like I could have done my bench opener with like feet up, like no feeling like just like it was easy enough. Like the strength was well and truly there, and I kept getting done for bum lift, and I'm like, for fuck's sake, like I'll just fucking do this. Like I'll just chill with my legs, like.
Because that's also the same comp Alex Deacon got
Yeah,
done.
they were a bit harsh on bum lift that comp.
Yeah.
And not only us, there were a couple on the chicks day, there were a couple on the big guys as well. Anybody with like a big arch where the bottom of your bum is kind of on the bench, because they always had the bright lights behind the stage so they could see like the light, like if there was a tiny gap the light was shining through, and also the upward angle I feel didn't help us.
Yeah, because the refs are on
like a meter below the stage.
Yeah.
So I feel like it didn't help us as well. I'm not blaming anybody, but like I don't feel like it created
the best environment to make an actual call.
Yeah, well, yeah. Everybody got judged the same, so I'm not going to sit here and say it's stupid, but I don't think like if with a big arch, it definitely was rough. And yeah, Deacon got done. There's a couple other people that got done, and I nearly got done. But I just did a couple of different things, just
relax your legs.
Pretty much.
Let that big booty sink in.
Yeah, kind of did. Like when I was setting up, just trying to like move my hamstring out of the way so that the hamstring was kind of like.
Well, see, that's your first problem
bench.
for having massive hamstrings.
Yeah, because when I was flexing my hamstring, it kicks up. And so I was like, okay, move them out of the way. But since then, if you watch that in comparison to my record breakers, the American bench, the American bench, my hips don't move nearly as much.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't getting as much like movement through my hips, like not as much like your leg drive
You
at the
look
bottom.
way more sturdy.
Exactly. So like I did learn from it.
Yeah.
So it's not like I went away from that comp going, fuck you guys are stupid. Like it was the judge's fault, none of me. Like I did go from that and go like.
There's a good lesson for anyone listening there. It's not the judge's fault. Everyone had to play to the same rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe like I said, maybe it wasn't set up perfectly for you and there was a bit of shit, but you learn
But
from
no
it.
comp's going to be perfect, and everyone's going to have a different setup. So I like
just
how
do
you
better.
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome. During this time, you'll sit from memory, I think it was like 60 kilos behind Bass. Was
55,
it?
yeah.
55. Fuck, I was close. Yeah, good at this stats thing. Was there any point in your mind you're like, I've still got this, or I'm done, or?
Yeah, well, I calculated my prep of 390.
Yep.
That's what the goal was.
390 pull, that is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was like, it's just hard to put that together after you've had an enormously stressful, like first 2 lifts and that. Like obviously, like everything by then was just like ruined because like stress and that just like I feel like if you nail your squats and then you nail your bench like deadlifts, I'm like, well, fucking easy. This is my lift. Like this is my jam. Like I'm in a good mood. Like, everything's good. It's just like there's the momentum. Whereas failing those 2 really was like shit. Like fuck. Like I failed the first 2. Like I'm probably gonna fail the third. I'm gonna and just like body was just fucked. And then there are a couple of things. So, as you know, Pro Raw is a competition where you, like we were talking about before, I feel it's a good strategy to try and relax between lifts. Pro Raw is a competition at Arnold's, and an Arnold's is a place where it's very hard to relax because there are flashing lights, there is music so loud that I couldn't speak to you.
And then there's that fucking sound of like, dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, all of it. The DJ playing tunes, people dancing with their shirt. It's just so much like
It's
sensory input, sensory overload that it just fucks you up.
It's really designed to not make you lift well.
Exactly, yeah, it is. It's more of a show than a comp. But that's what it is, and you deal with that shit.
And you understand it from their point of view, to attract.
As a lifter, I would much rather lift at like Queensland States over Pro Raw. It's just that Pro Raw, the big guns are there. That's the lights, and that's where the show is.
You want to attract the people walking by. So we get it from that sort of perspective, but at the same time, for a lifter's benefit, it's like,
Yeah, but we can't do much about that. I understand that from everybody's point of view. So there's a couple, like, just being stressed out of my mind after the 2 lifts, being like, fuck, I'm like 55 kilos behind, this is ridiculous. Like, whatever. So me and Mickey just like, Tommy Curry was helping me out during the day, just with physio, just little things, helping me trying to relax. And he pretty much said to me at a point, he's just like, just fucking get out of here. Just Jesus. Like, after bench, before deadlift, this is. So just get out of here. This is, like, you're just tense. Like, you're just jammed up.
Yep.
And I'm like, whatever. So me and Mickey literally walked out of the building entirely and hundreds of meters away from the exhibition center, and and went down the hallway or whatever, where there's less people, less noise, less whatever, and just chilled out and just fucking like just on my phone and just did some little breathing drills and whatever, just
bring yourself back down.
Yeah, just trying to chill basically. Yeah, and then it was at that point where I was like 55 kilos, if I do 390, 55 kilos from that, 335, that's about where Bass pulls. Like I know it's going to be real close. Like, because based on his training videos, he's probably looking at that area. So it's just fucking, this could be on. And then that's where I was just like, all right, well, let's bring it home, I guess.
Fuck, sick.
And then I went out and hit my pulls, my warm-ups, and I remember that my last warm-up was 320.
Are you watching Bass to see him warm up, to see what his looks like?
Nah, because I just...
Stay away from that?
Well, I knew that he was going to be around that area.
Yeah.
And he was either going to... he's either going to get it or not. But I knew that if I could hit that like 390-ish, it was
game over.
It was close. It was going to be real close. Yeah, I was in within a chance if I got that. Yeah. So then we... and my last one with a 320 was awesome. I just remember it being like, oh yeah, like, all right, we may be on here, guys. Like, this is fucking chance. Yeah, and I tried to like switch a little bit. I was fucked by that point. Long day, a lot of stress, etc. Tried to get a little bit more hyped than I would usually. And then we did the opener to get 2.5 kilos ahead of him.
Fuck. What was your opener?
I forget. It was either, it might have been three. Oh, jeez. I think it was like 360 or 365.
What an opener to get 2.5 kilos of the guy that's 55 kilos ahead of you.
Yeah, but we changed it to be...
Oh, you changed it. Okay, so...
But it was a similar area, but we changed it to be just dunging him because I knew it was going to be real close. I'm like, no, we're just going to nudge. And then, so nudged him a little bit. Thomas being Thomas, putting in higher attempts so that he isn't sure what to go to nudge. And then did that to try and like just make him do his best without knowing exactly.
Yeah.
And then I'm lucky enough Thomas just didn't make all that math for me. And then
Rain Man.
Yeah, and then same thing on the second. So he pulls to get back ahead. Then I pull just the nudge again. And then I knew that on the third I'm like, he probably has like 330 or whatever, 335.
Yeah, because he went 330, and I think everyone watched it going was wondering why he didn't go 335.
Yeah, but if I put myself in his shoes, if he fucks that up, if he puts in 335 and misses, I don't even have to get that last pull. I can just chill.
Yeah.
So I would have done the exact same thing as him, which is put the pressure back on me.
Yeah.
So he pulls, gets his third attempt, which was to nudge me out. So now I have to get my third attempt, which is hard after such a terrible day. Yeah, so then we load up 2.5 kilos more.
387.5.
Yeah, and then...
We got to get that video, and Jace will put that in there. The one thing, like, obviously, it was a sick pull. Everyone's on their feet. You fucking nailed it. The one thing that stands out for me, and I want to ask you, could you see Ariane?
No, I couldn't. No.
Oh, well, his arm is just going like a fucking helicopter.
Yeah, the videos are sick.
Bring it home.
But you would know, like when you kind of get in that tunnel vision, you get in that, you get in that I forget what they call it in the, like
you just zone in,
and it's just in your world, in your own world, where it's just you in the bar and the ref, and that's it.
Fuck.
Like you don't remember anything about it.
I only asked because that arm was moving at the speed, and
I watched it back and I was like, damn, that's probably the most athletic Ariane's ever been. That's hectic. So going wild, man. Yeah. But yeah,
and then you get it. Fucking. How did that feel?
Just, I guess, it was mixed feelings because I was like, that's fucking amazing. Like, I feel really good because I've won. But then at the same time, I'm like, I'm so annoyed at myself that I made it that difficult. Yeah. Like, I really should have won this on second attempts easily.
Fucking hell.
Because if my squat was where it should have been, which I was hoping for, 370-ish, maybe 375 top area. If I got that, I would have been happy with 365. Like, even if I got that and then I benched what I should have, which should have been up near 220-ish, then it should have been an easy second for the win.
You
and
just
then,
like close competitions and stuff, don't you?
Yeah, apparently.
Fucking what was it, Pro Raw 9 you pulled for the win? Pro
Raw 9, yeah, the second one was for the win.
And then Pro Raw 10 you
tried to pull for the win on Tom Martin.
Tom Martin. Yeah, you just like making it hard for yourself and then fucking going in.
Well, the competitors don't make it easy either. Yeah. You know, like they're strong fuckers as well. You know, I wish they would make it easy. That'd be nice. They are. But at the same time, I try to do the same thing back. So it's a good relationship.
That's fucking great. And how do you find those weekends when you've got a whole team that you got to look after and coach?
That's the hard thing about Pro Raw for me. I was really struggling with that this year because I feel like it really affected that performance as well. That one that we just talked about. Like I feel like I'm not going to say that was the reason, but I feel like that was a contributing factor to me failing lifts and stuff. Is that the whole prior day to that was the Women's Day, and I had I forget, like at least 10 girls.
Are you wrapping knees and stuff then, or do you get someone else for that?
I was wrapping some knees, and then I had Zach, our other coach, and friends and people of the girls. But just being on the feed all day and being stressed out the whole day.
Yeah, as a coach, we all know you take on their stress as well.
Yeah, so I'm just like, it's exactly what you don't want really. I'm just up and wasting energy. But I can't help it. I can't just sit there and do nothing. So this year, I had it all planned out much better, that everybody had their own handler, and I was going to kind of be like the overseer handler, like the handler of the handlers. But yeah, I didn't get to do it. So I don't know if that plan would have worked or not, but...
It sounds good in theory.
Nice
I
plan.
think so. We'll see next time. We'll see.
Whenever that comes around.
But that's got to be a pretty proud moment as well as a coach to have so many people there performing and doing so well, right?
Yeah, I've thought about just being a coach on that day and giving the lifting a miss and then go and doing a different comp. Because I'm kind of like past that mindset of like I need to win and I need to prove myself. Like back when it was Ricky and it was Nathan and they were the kings. I was like, fucking got to catch these motherfuckers. But now I'm just like, I don't really care that much. So, do I take the back seat, coach that whole weekend, give all that, and then just go and do like a states or a nationals or something that's maybe a bit more lifter friendly and stuff, and just have some fun and. Yeah.
Is that what you're going to do moving forward, do you think? Or
I don't know. I think it'd be too hard to avoid. Like I think there'll always be somebody to push, and then you'll want to like push back. I know, we'll see what happens.
You're a competitor at heart. Like you just want to go.
I really want to do Miami. Like when we went over and visited the Miami crew, the hybrid crew over there, like I can tell they're super genuine, like super organized, great people.
Yep.
Just so accommodating and do things so professionally. If you watch any of their meets, they're just smooth and just awesome. So I really want to go back over there and do one of their meets.
Probably 2036 when we're allowed to travel again, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
But yeah, we ain't going there for a long time.
Yeah, fuck.
So,
but it's a cool space to be in, though, to start looking elsewhere and pick some big comps, ideally.
Yeah, and it's not like I would win those comps either. Like when you got Jamal and stuff like that, doing those comps is but that'd be fun. And
I was going to say, you look excited just talking about doing those comps and going up against some really strong dudes.
Yeah, it'd just be fun
gonna do another comp.
to go over and compete against them and hopefully hit some PBs. And like I said, winning's not really that big a deal.
Yeah, it's just about seeing how far you can go really.
My landmarks that I want to hit a 400 squat deadlift and like at least a 500, like 227 bench.
Yep. That's a big total.
That's a nice total.
It's what, 1,027?
I think there's 2 people in Australia currently. Anthony will be the next one, but there's 2 people in Australia currently that have hit a 400 squat and deadlift. Which
in comp?
is
Yeah.
Which is Odell and Dylan.
Yeah, wow. And they're both a lot heavier.
Yeah, exactly. So I'd love to join that rank.
Quite a club.
Because there's a lot of people that squat huge and then deadlift ain't so great. And then their deadlift's massive and their squat's not so great. So, to join the double 400 club, I think would be sick.
Bloody oath it would be.
Yeah.
Especially at knowing your body weight, probably 117.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll say 120, but it won't be. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Whatever I weigh in at, I don't care. Like I doubt if I said I squat 400 and deadlift 400, somebody's gonna be like, yeah, but what weight? Like no
one's caring.
No one cares. I'll just whatever.
So switching gears a bit, talking more about your coaching, where did Nexus come from?
It's actually but me and so Nexus means like bringing the elite together, like a coming together. And so me and some good friends who kind of got me into fitness, got me into the industry up there in Cairns, decided to create it as kind of like a network, I guess, of trainers who we thought were good between us. And that kind of what it was and how it developed and how it moved originally, and now it's just me and Mickey and our two coaches, and trying to and more coming together is more like just elite people. Yeah,
absolutely. You got a solid coaches. Zach's in Melbourne.
Zach and Max are both in Melbourne.
Yeah.
So Zach's our other strength coach, and Max is our other nutrition coach other than Mickey. Oh, wow. So we have two nutrition coaches, two strength coages, and try and do our best on both those fronts.
That's awesome, man.
And it's an online model, essentially.
100% online.
Yep.
Max, Zach, we do some in-person stuff on their own, but it's not affiliated with us.
Yeah.
Our Next is 100% online. It's just a bit more. It's just difficult when you're living on the Gold Coast to run an in-person training business. I could go to a Good Life and start training mums or whatever, but like to work with powerlifters and the athletes and stuff that I want to work with online is kind of a necessity.
Yeah.
And I like it.
I would like to go see you work at a Good Life and train some mums. That'd be great.
Oh, I like it. It's a different.
It's a nice change.
Super different skill set, but yeah.
Have you ever spent any time coaching?
Yeah. When I started off, like well before powerlifting, well before anything, when I was just lifting for fun and I used to work at a commercial gym in Cairns.
Yep.
So I like it. It's interesting because it's the same sort of reason. Like when somebody hits a PB squat, it's the same sort of feeling as when somebody hits a PB, like a body weight that they haven't been at, or a health marker that they haven't been at, or can move without pain or something like that. It's like whatever. It's the same thing. It's just
absolutely. It's awesome, man.
Same good feeling.
And you're getting a bit more into the educational space now. Like obviously,
that's the direction I want to hit.
Because you were recently with the
Rebel.
Thank you, Rebel Performance Summit.
Yep.
Doing the part of their online presentations during the COVID period, which was awesome.
Yeah. That was a big online. That was really cool because obviously like bigger names than Mike Israel.
Massive names.
Literally all of them I thought were awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome people that I look up to. So it was really cool to be able to do that on that sort of platform. Felt a bit out of my depths to start, but then I feel like I fit the gap. So just trying to bring some light to powerlifting because all the other presentations were on health, movement, biomechanics, different kind of subjects like that. So trying to give a presentation that was something that I could give a unique perspective on, rather than me talking about hips or something like that.
Yeah.
That somebody like Jordan or Pat could have given the same presentation. I wanted to give like, hey, this is powerlifting, like this is my point of view.
And is that the route you want to go with this educational stuff, like showing or educating people on powerlifting and like I guess I don't want to say a better way to do it, but like I guess a more optimal health way to do it.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Just a lot of powerlifting coaches I feel get stuck in powerlifting, and at the end of the day, powerlifting is obviously quite simple in the way that squat, bench, deadlift. And if you do a lot of squat, benching, and deadlifting, it's hard not to get better at squat, bench, and deadlifting. And obviously, there's a ceiling on that, and I'm oversimplifying it dramatically, but I feel like there's another whole side to it that a lot of trainers miss, and that's the whole. There's other aspects to get you stronger outside of specificity. There's hypertrophy methods that could maybe be done better. There are just getting people moving better, getting people moving pain-free, nutrition, all these different aspects that make people elite that I feel like a lot of coaches don't bridge the gaps great. So I'm trying to help people fill it all and to become good coaches in general. So we're working on just making a lot more content in that realm, YouTube, all that shit, and eventually, I'm working on it now, but it's such a long thing because you keep adding.
It is a long process.
I'm bringing together, trying to make some sort of mentorship to take people from through all those skill sets, as in like how to coach people, like the coaching skill set, talking, communication, how to all that blah blah blah, how to set up a business, blah blah, as well as the powerlifting type stuff, as well, and all that other stuff that I mentioned. Try and roll it into some sort of course that.
And
you let people knocking down the door for that one.
Fucking oath. There'll be a lot of people knocking down.
Yeah, well, like the thing that you did with Jordan, like that sort of thing.
The pre-strip.
Jordan's obviously a bit more biomechanical based, but you're trying to like broaden that spectrum a little bit.
I forgot the question.
Where do you look to for education for yourself?
Oh, that actually.
Well, geez, if you look at that Rebel Summit,
just those guys that are all in there.
Well, there's obviously more, but like those names are a fucking great place to start. All those guys that were on that.
Because am I wrong in asking that you're starting to be get your doctorate?
Nah, hell no, I don't have any education.
Who told me that?
Formal education.
Who told me that?
You've been misinformed by this.
I've been very misinformed.
I could just say I'm a doctor.
I would believe it.
Oh yeah, look, you got traps and biceps.
You just proclaim it, and then who's going to check?
Yeah, just call it.
Oh, I forgot my certificate today.
Got my certificate.
It's on the wall.
I don't feel it means that much these days anyway.
Yeah,
like it does. I'm not taking away from the people that have done it. They've done it, and they've earned their right to speak at that level and whatnot, and to do their job. But as far as qualifications go, I've only got my Cert 4 really, like in this space anyway. Yeah. So, but there's a previous life in the trade. I've got tradie stuff, but like it's not.
What trade did you do?
Ooh.
I did electronics engineering in the Navy.
So, right.
Oh, wow, so he's really smart.
Damn.
No, not at all.
How
long did you do that?
Anything with engineering.
How long did you do Navy?
No, it's only a Cert 4, I think. 5.
Yeah. How long were you in Navy?
6 years.
6 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh, that's right. You're based up in Cairns.
That's why you're in Cairns.
Yes.
Look at us connecting the dots. We're getting good at this.
Yeah, I wouldn't go to Cairns for any other reason.
Yeah, fucking no.
Did you travel anywhere with that role?
Not really.
Yeah.
I wasn't lucky enough to get on any ships that were gone. The furthest we went was like Tasmania and things like that are not super exciting.
Yep.
Unfortunately, but
damn.
Yeah, you really went Tasmania to Cairns. Yeah.
No, the ship that took us to Tasmania was based in Sydney. That was a different time, but the ones in Cairns are tiny. They can hardly get out of the harbour without breaking down. So,
fuck.
That's our Navy for you.
Defending our borders.
Well, Australia doesn't need that much defence.
Yeah, nah.
All right.
That's awesome.
People got shit to worry about.
Yeah.
So what's next for you, man? What's with the educational stuff, that is?
I'm always doing courses, always doing things. Like at the moment, I'm completing a course by a guy named Gary Ward. He's an Irish guy on lower limb mechanics. So trying to learn a lot more about like the feet, knee, hip relationship within the gait cycle, within jumping, within things like outside of the spectrum of squat, bench, deadlift. Yeah. Trying to put that together. Done a lot on the breathing side of stuff with people like PRI, Pat Davison, Zach Couples. We did those courses when we were in America. It's done all that sort of biomechanics side of things. So I'm always doing all those kind of things, trying to just bridge gaps.
Yeah. And do you always kind of take what you learn from those courses and bring it back to powerlifting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the breathing stuff, like people always give a shit like, how is fucking breathing going to improve your lifting? I'm like, it's not going to improve your lifting, it's going to allow you to do more. As in, like, the only way I'm going to get better at squat, bench, and deadlift is do squat, bench, and deadlift. It's at this level. Like, it's just, that's how it is. So if I can use some breathing drills or some other drills or some whatever drills to allow me to do more squat, bench, and deadlift pain-free, with more volume, with more intensity, then that is getting me stronger.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Even also directly getting me stronger, it's allowing me to do more work, which will get me stronger. So that's why it's kind of weird that people like write off that type of shit. It's like anything else.
And I think that's like even for me here, we implement breathing drills and all those other rehabby, prehabby drills, but you explained it perfectly just then. Like, it's not going to get me stronger, but it's going to allow me to express my strength better.
It's going to allow me to do more work, which will get me stronger. Yeah,
that's perfect. Everyone just needs to write that down. Stop what you're doing. Pull over your car and write that down.
Yeah, 90-90 drill certainly isn't going to make me stronger. It's a body weight isometric, but it might help me open up some joint ranges so that I can move a bit better, so that less stress on the system, less stress on tendons, less stress on other muscles. Allow put muscles in a position to do their job better in a squat, bench, deadlift. Now I can do more sets of squat, bench, deadlift. Now I can make those squat, bench, deadlift more efficient, and now I can lift more.
Absolutely. Podcast done. Drop your mic and just get out. Leave there. It's too good.
Yeah. Nobody, as Jordan would say, as Jordan would have taught you in the PS, nobody wants to be the best of warming up. It's not about being the best of warming up. It's about preparing yourself to do more work.
Nah, Jordo. We're gonna get him on the stage with you.
In the
DTs.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going back to.
Or just straight up El Natural?
Did you say in the DTs or El Natural?
No. Spray tan or just.
We both need to shave down and then have to tan up.
Yeah, sweet.
I reckon you've got him. He's like light at the moment, bro.
A couple of posing drills.
You've done bodybuilding before, though. You're fine. You got this.
Yeah, but it doesn't work like that. It's not like once you learn it, you're good.
No, you're fine. You got this.
He trained with Ben Pekulski, all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So he's got the inside skills, man. He's got the pro whispers, the secrets.
My money's still. You know what? We got you, man. You got traps for days. There's actually I know a lot about bodybuilding. I don't know if you know this. I don't. I know nothing. But there's a section where they judge you on traps alone. So.
Yeah. And neck. That's what we want going for.
Well, that's more points.
and head size, I think, as well.
That's what we want.
I'm going to put up on the platform after this. We're going to have a poll. 3 heads. Gawain, Will, and Polly.
Yeah.
And I will see
who's got the biggest head.
Let it vote.
There's no way I beat that.
If anyone says you, I'm going to be fucking dumbfounded. Because, look, you got a big head. But, Gawain.
Maybe we need to measure him.
No, actually, Polly did that. He measured his head, but then Gawain didn't, and Polly got the shit. He's like, why the fuck didn't he measure his head? Because he knows he's going to lose.
It's important.
Fuck.
It's exactly. Now, before we wrap up,
here we go.
We got the 10 most important questions, and by important, I mean...
Really important.
Yeah, sure. I was going to say very broad. They don't really have much context.
True or false?
I wish they were true or false, but...
Brandon's still scarred.
Man, they were just... So he always tests these questions on me.
Yeah.
And now these questions are some of the most broad questions I've ever... I don't know where to go with them.
That's the point. Are you ready?
Not really, but...
Well, here we go. Biggest lesson you've learned.
What the fuck? In more context.
Any context you like, mate.
See what I mean?
Jeez. We'll bring it back to powerlifting, because who's going to listen to this other than powerlifters? But
my mum?
Yeah, my mum.
No, my
mum does powerlifting.
She gave up on us. Apparently I swear too much on my own podcast.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
You're a naughty boy. But, no, I really don't know where to fucking go with this shit. Powerlifting is a sport of longevity. Just focus on not getting injured and take things slow.
Nice. There's
a one from in a powerlifting world.
I like it. Now, Will, if you could live underwater, would you?
No.
Okay, fair enough. What's your biggest challenge?
Jesus Christ.
I told you, man. I don't have any say in this.
It deliberately moves around.
Fuck me, I don't know. Can we pass?
Pass, correct.
5 out of 5.
I'm very curious your thoughts on this. It's controversial. Is cereal a soup? If it is a soup, why is it a soup? And if not, why not?
I'm going to say no, because I'm always a person that says, I don't like soup. I don't like watery meals, but I do eat cereal every day. So it's just on complete personal bias.
Just because you don't want to not like it.
Yeah, just because I don't want to like make myself incorrect.
What conspiracy theory do you think is real?
I don't know if it's even conspiracy theory, but I think politics is a load of shit.
There we go. What's one of your rules?
Fuck me. Be a good bloke.
There we go. Good. That's a good rule. Would you join a cult?
Not if it was named a cult.
Smart. How many chickens to kill an elephant, do you think?
A lot. Jesus, I can't even see chickens being aggressive. I think that
If you got enough chickens.
maybe 10. Let's go 10,000.
Yeah, 10,000. Your life's a video.
Well, like if you think of it, if you think of like 1,000, you're like, fuck, it's still got no chance.
Yeah, you got to tire it out. More chickens.
Yeah, to be the Mike Tyson versus 2-year-olds.
Yeah, enough 2-year-olds to take it.
Eventually, you're gonna stop swinging.
Yeah, exactly. Your life's a video game, and cheat codes are real. What cheat code do you want?
I'm trying to think of like superheroes that I like would really like to be like, but I just don't. There's no one that has like one ability. Like I'm thinking like Thor, but then it's not just one, is it? He's got the all-round gifts.
Well, you can have the Thor cheat code. You can be Thor.
Well, he's pretty much halfway there.
He's not far off.
Yeah.
He can
I've
pick
got
the hammer
fly
up.
and control lightning and all that stuff.
Fuck
yeah.
yes.
You're only 2 abilities off.
Yeah.
You're
I'm
pretty
sure
strong.
I'm sure he's
Yeah,
got some more.
pretty strong. Yeah, pick that hammer up.
Find a good hammer.
You've been arrested, and your family is starting to assume what you're arrested for. What are they assuming?
Oh God. It's like, it's a bad answer no matter which way I go, isn't it? Fuck no.
Oh, that gets everyone.
I don't know.
Will's out.
No, I'm done.
He's passed on that one too. Is that the 10?
Is that 10?
Yeah, it's 10.
Oh, I felt like so many more.
There was a lot of questions within the question, and those ones.
You're like part A, B.
Fucking hell, man. I'm so lost.
Is there ever been like a really good answer to that where you were just like blown away, like holy fuck?
Not yet.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Because like,
We've got a few more podcasts to go before that one's run
so we
up.
change them like every 10 episodes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm always the first.
Yeah,
It's
that's the best.
It's the worst. Because I'm like, I don't get any say in the questions.
No.
And then you get, what you just got, and you're like, what the fuck? So yeah. Anyways.
Maybe the other way you need to swing and just go like super specific. That's like incredibly detailed. Just
Dial
for,
it in
like just
for something deep.
True or
yeah,
falses.
super deep.
Yeah. Maybe the next 10 I'll do that.
Yeah.
It started off with that they were supposed to be rapid fire questions, like one after the like bang
That's
bang.
the least rapid they could be. Yeah. The furthest from rapid.
It's a slow draw.
Yeah, it's very.
Man, thank you so much for coming on today. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on, hearing a bit behind your, I guess you're competing and what you're doing now with the educational route. And where can people find you if they want to get in touch for coaching or want to know more of what you're doing in the education side?
Easiest way, just go to Instagram and then link off from there. I won't even bother with the others.
Yeah, we'll just throw it up.
At WCroz, at Nexus Performance, AUS. So if you get through them, you'll find the website through them, and or DM us and we'll sort you out.
Easy, for sure. We'll definitely put that up in the show notes, and if there's anything, we'll post some of your videos and Ariane's helicopter arm going in that, and you can just get that off the gram, can't you? Oh, he's already got it.
He's ahead of you guys.
Yeah, he is. All right, man, thank you so much. We'll be in touch when this comes out, and get you on again.
Love it. Thank you.
3, 2, 1.
I kept trying to clap and I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, fuck. One job.
Too much muscle to clap.
Can't bridge.
He's good at the clap though. That's what he does. He's all over it.
Yeah, when you said he's good at the clap, I was like, he's good at what? He's got what?
It's hard to be good at.